welcome to this edition of ET Now Hangouts. I'm Ankita Saxena. Well, today we are talking about the smartphone market in India, particularly about Xiaomi. Xiaomi in Indian market has transitioned from a dominant budget smartphone leader somewhere around 2017 to 2022 to facing significant challenges thereafter, including market share decline, regulatory pressures and intense competition from brands like Samsung, Vivo and Oppo, leading to a strategic pivot towards deeper IoT integration and the premium segment to leverage its 140 million users. Now, company is focusing on its broader ecosystem of smart home and AI-based products, aiming for efficiency and a stronger presence that's beyond just smartphones. I'm speaking to Sudhin Mathur, who's the COO of Xiaomi India, to understand Xiaomi's strategy in India and their vision going forward. Hi, Sudhin. Thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us on ET Now Hangouts.
So first of all, Ankita, thank you so much for having me on your show. It's a pleasure to speak to you.
So then Xiaomi's India market presence has seen a significant shift. After dominating as a budget leader in 2017 or 2022, it faced a significant decline in the smartphone market share due to intense competition, whether it's from Vivo, Oppo gaining market share, regulatory issues, challenges in the premium segment. Now, despite the growth in other categories like tablets, TVs, what are your ongoing efforts to reposition or restore momentum for Xiaomi in India?
Yes, Xiaomi, has now become actually a household name. As you rightly pointed out, we have had a successful and a phenomenal growth over our journey in the last 10 years in this country. However, the market has now started to shift from a consumer preferences as well. Their choices are changing, their buying behaviors are changing as well. And at Xiaomi, 2025 was a year of recalibration, where we looked into our strategy, and based on the changing consumer behavior, we shifted our strategy from a go-to-market point of view. What I mean is that the market premiumization has started. We've started to focus more on premium categories of product. We have started to focus more on our smartphone plus category segment, which essentially means that the AIoT categories, TV category, tablet category, and now we are all ready and fully geared to take on the new challenges as we enter 2026.
Right. So, what have been your challenges in the offline retail segment? With competition coming from Vivo, Oppo, and Samsung, what have really been your competitive challenges?
Look, competition has always been there. And Xiaomi's journey when it started has been more on an online first strategy. However, as the market and consumer preferences are changing, as consumers today are preferring to buy more and more premium product, their preferences are changing from value for money to value for experience. So therefore, all brands, and including us, need to try and focus on how do you give the right experience to the consumer, which is probably more feasible in the retail or mainline channel as well. We have since adopted an omni-channel strategy, which essentially means giving consumer a similar experience, whether your preference is to buy in an online market or if you prefer to go and buy from a retail space. So we have doubled down on that strategy. We are seeing a lot of growth in our mainline channel as well, and largely because of our premiumization products that we have launched over the year, and especially in the TV and QLED. We have in tablets, we have great products. In smartphones as well, we have premium products like our Xiaomi 15 series, which essentially consumers want to touch, feel, and experience. And hence our focus is more towards in the offline retail channel and also to be present in the online channel as well at the same time.
Now, Sudhin, there has been a shift in Xiaomi's strategy from a volume-led growth to a more value and experience-led strategy. Talk to us about that pivot.
Yeah, no, absolutely right. And, if you reflect back on the growth and journey of the smartphone industry, when smartphones were coming, the first-time buyers who were coming, the early adopters, their choices were more based on value for money, more specs for the less price. And I think they wanted a better camera, a higher megapixel, they wanted more battery, and they wanted more screen size and display. And those are the choices or the reasons for them to make a purchase decision. Over the last decade or so, consumers have matured. They know what they want, and they want much larger experience from the product. Therefore, the company also need to shift their preferences from value for money to value for experience, which essentially means that we have launched in camera like the Leica cameras on our Xiaomi series, which are essentially probably the best. On TV, consumer are preferring to buy a QLED television, which is probably a better display. So as a brand, we also need to change our choices and the direction in which we are now moving from a value for money to value for experience as we take on the new challenges.
Right. Also, previously you served the consumers as a mass market brand, but now you are putting forward an image of an aspirational premium brand like an Apple. Is that push in the premium smartphone segment, is that yet to yield results? What is the strategy over there?
So this year, like I said, was a year of recalibration for us. We have now clearly under the Xiaomi umbrella, we have three brands. We have the Xiaomi brand, we have the Redmi brand, and then we have the Poco brand, if you were to really talk about a smartphone. So there is a clear articulation of our strategy across each brand, talking to a different set of consumers. Xiaomi as a brand is going to lead the journey of premiumization. Our Xiaomi 15 series that we launched this year with the Leica experience led that. Our QLED, Xiaomi QLED television led the premiumization journey, and even in pads as well, our Xiaomi Pad 7. Now, we have seen early successes, and consumers are liking the experiences that we offer. In fact, on our television, the QLED television in particularly, we got a 5x growth this year. In our tablet category, we got a 3x growth over previous year. So there is a good success that we are already seeing. And actually in Diwali season, we didn't even have enough of our Xiaomi 15 series as well. So it's been a great success story, early signs as well. And we do believe that as we progress our journey in the coming years, you will see more and more of our Xiaomi product, which would lead the premiumization journey.
Right. Also, Xiaomi is positioning itself as a smartphone plus IoT company and plans to expand its portfolio into new products, including integrated smart home devices and other Internet of Things products. Talk to us about that expansion as well.
2 years back, Xiaomi, embarked on a strategy of which is called the human times car times home, which essentially means human means basically products like the smartphone, the tablets, and laptops. EV, we all know. I'm sure our consumers know as well. We've launched EVs, and home strategy is more about the connected devices. Xiaomi as a company is now bringing on a lot of home and connected devices across the ecosystem, and we want to position ourselves more from a smartphone to a complete ecosystem device company, and I think that's the direction which we want to head. Consumers are going to see more and more of our similar products, which are connected devices, whether it's in terms of home appliances, or in terms of phone, or in terms of TVs and tablets as we move forward. And I think that will be our strategy. Our 2025, we have seen good success. Now almost 13 to 15% of our revenue is coming from our non-phone categories. And I think that would, moving forward, there'll be a clear consumer choices in these categories as well.
Also, tell us what are the current consumer demands and which are the categories that are driving the biggest growth for you as of now?
So, like, phones has been traditionally our core business, and it has been the mainstay for us. But like I said, I think we are seeing a good success in our non-phone categories. We have seen good growth in our television. Like I said, our QLED TVs grew by 5x, our tablets grew by 3x. We are now the number 3 brand or among the top 3 brands in phones and tablets as well. We have a wide variety of other categories of smart home devices, smart connected devices like robo vacuum cleaners, air purifiers, garment steamers. And I think moving forward, there will be many more choices that consumers can see from us.
Right. Also for Xiaomi, where does India stand in the larger scheme of things? Now, India's role as a key manufacturing and strategic hub for Xiaomi globally, where does India stand there?
So India is important and a key strategic market for Xiaomi. Our journey in India started about 11 years back, and we have been a significant contribution to the overall growth strategy. India is a strategic market. Even from our Make in India or a local manufacturing footprint point of view, today almost 90% of our products that we sell in India are made in India, are 100%, almost 100% phones are made in India, 100% televisions are made in India. Last year, or that is this year, 2025, we added wearables as a category which is made in India, and also tablets which we added on as a Make in India. So our footprint on Make in India continues to grow, and I think that would be the journey forward as well as we add new categories.
So Sudhir, tell us, how was your festive season? How did that pan out for you? We did see the impact of GST rate rationalization coming in as far as discretionary spends are concerned. How did that impact your business, and how was your festive season?
Yeah. Oh, this festival season went as per our expectation, and actually in some category even exceeded our expectation, especially in televisions and tablets. We were almost out of stock, if I may use that word. But more importantly, I think the key trend that we saw this Diwali, there is a definite premiumization of the consumer choices. People are preferring to buy, even in smartphone, more than 20,000 rupees or 30,000 rupee product. In television, they are preferring QLED television. So there is a general premiumization trends that we saw this festival season as well. And I think the consumers like the offerings that we had to offer during this Diwali.
Right. Sudhir, also tell us what happens to the mass market category, since you mentioned that there has been a shift to premiumization, and essentially Xiaomi had started out as a mass market phone brand.
Yeah. So there is still a lot of scope. I mean, in India, there are roughly about 650, 700 million smartphones, and there are still a lot of feature phone users. So there is an upgradation that those consumers will also come into it as well. However, like I said, the focus of consumers today are shifting from value for money to value for experience. People are holding on to their devices much more, and their expectation from devices is growing as well. While there will be a mass market segment that do exist, where we will see a transition from a first-time feature phone user to a smartphone. However, the growth is much faster in the above 20,000 or premium category segment at this point.
So Sudhir, where do you see the premiumization trend coming from? Are the tier 2 and tier 3 cities also catching up? Has there been a shift in the TG, because we are seeing more and more people getting aspirational? With GST rate rationalization, we do have more discretionary spends, and people want to be spending more on premium products. So is there a shift in the TG, and are tier 2 and tier 3 cities also catching up onto this trend of premiumization?
Oh, yes, absolutely. And I think the growth is coming from all over. It's not just that this trend is mostly in metros or tier 1 town. Even tier 2 and tier 3 towns, we see a premiumization trend happening. And one of the reasons largely is because of the credit availability. People are today buying on their EMIs and easy finance. It's easily available to them. And therefore, they have a propensity, and zero cost EMIs are available as well. So I think that's one of the reasons why people are willing to spend more on their devices, because they can get it on an affordable installment schemes.
Right. Also, how has your marketing strategy changed as a result of changes in the TG demanding premiumization?
So first of all, I just want to clarify, premiumization is not a price band or a price point. Premiumization is an experience that consumers want, right? And like I said, over the years of time, the technology has evolved as well. People no longer want to buy a phone which is based on a spec. Okay, I mean, they want to know what does a 50 megapixel or a 100 megapixel mean. They also want to understand what does a 3000 mAh or a 5000 mAh mean. How good is the display and things like that. So our strategy has been evolving accordingly as well. Xiaomi is a large global player. We are among the top 3 brands in the world as well, number 3 actually, and across the 100 countries. Our journey on our product premiumization has been very good. Like I shared with you, our Xiaomi category of product would lead the premiumization journey, which will be through the Leica experience and many other cutting-edge technology. Our Redmi series would be more focused on a mid-tier segment, which also want a similar experiences as such, but is looking more for reliability and trust. And then we have a Poco brand, which is more for a digital savvy consumer, much more younger, much more. So clearly are targeting each sub-brands to a different set of consumers, of course, walking the premiumization journey as well.
Right, so Sudhir, you mentioned Poco, Redmi, Xiaomi. These are the three categories. Which of them is driving growth for you, and what are the trends in all of these three brands that comes under the umbrella for Xiaomi?
So all of them, like I said, I mean, they're targeted to a different set of consumers as such. So it's not that a particular brand. They have a very clear role in our entire Xiaomi umbrella of portfolio. Xiaomi being the premium, of course, that segment is still smaller in the market. The mainstream being more Redmi and the Poco, which are driving the mass market or mid segment as such over there.
So then finally, what is your vision for Xiaomi in India for the next 5 years?
So first of all, we just completed about 11 years in India. It has been a great journey for us as well. We have more than 140 million monthly active users from a smartphone point of view. Our vision is clearly to position Xiaomi as a complete ecosystem company and not just as a smartphone company. So from a consumer standpoint, while they will continue to see cutting-edge technology products from a smartphone point of view, but in next 3 to 5 years, you will see Xiaomi building more and more categories in India, whether it is in televisions or in the smart home connected devices that we will see. So over a period of time, we are now already a household home, but our aspiration in the next 3 to 5 years is to ensure that every household has more than one Xiaomi product and not just a phone. Now, whether it is in form of a TV or any other IoT product or a tablet, globally, we have more than 20 million consumers who have more than 5 Xiaomi products. So that would be the direction in which we would like to head as well, that more and more people have more than one device in their home from Xiaomi.
All right, on that note, Sudhir, thank you so much for joining us and telling us all about Xiaomi's strategies and plans. Thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us. And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of ET Now Hangouts. I'll see you next week with some more interesting conversations. Stay tuned.